I'll be introducing you to the Databricks platform in this session of mine. So, in this session, I'm mostly focusing on people who have never used Databricks before, and you just want an introduction into what Databricks is, why we are using it, how to navigate the Databricks UI and everything. So by the end, you should be able to navigate through Databricks UI and do some basic stuff in it, and you'll be able to like explore and do whatever you want to. Okay, so I'll not delay it any further. I'll just start with it. So what exactly is Databricks platform? So Databricks platform is a unified platform, right? Anything you want to do with data, you could do on this. If you want, like Shiva said, if you want to do extract, transform, and load, you could do it on this. If you want to train your ML model, deploy your ML model, you could do it on the data. You could do it over here. If you want to create dashboards, any work that has to do with an analyst, you could also do over here. It is built on Apache Spark. For any of you that doesn't know, it's not that complicated. It's just a open source distributed computing framework, which will help you process big data. So if you have streaming data, if you have millions of data, it'll just help you process it like easier. So Databricks is built on top of that. And then it's a cloud-based workspace. That means you don't have to set up any servers. You don't have to set up infrastructures. You can just log in and start working on your data or any projects that you're doing. And then, of course, supports multiple languages, Python, SQL, Scala, R. Mostly we'll be using Python and SQL, but Scala and R is also supported. Now, why exactly do you use Databricks? Of course, Shiva's already given you a great example of Costco thing, but I'll also give you a simple example so you'll be able to like go forward with the demo as well. So let's just consider a e-commerce sales analysis pipeline, right? So if I have, say, if I did take two tables from of sales data, that is customer data and orders data. And if I join them together and I want to, let's say, calculate some metrics and I want to create a business report, if this is the use case that I'm going forward with, in a traditional pipeline, what I'll be doing is I'll have a database or a source from which I'll be extracting it. So I have to write a Python code, or I could use something called a tool called Kafka for streaming data. So I have to extract data using that. I have to schedule them as well to run every day. Let's say if you want to get the data in the morning, so I'll have to schedule them in the morning to run in the morning as well. And then you need something called talent to help, or Informatica to help with your ETL, your transformations basically. And then you need to write another Python script to like get the transform data from talent into your warehouse where you'll be storing them. And then you need a dashboarding, I mean a Power BI tool or a Tableau to like show dashboards, right? So what is the problem with it? So the first problem would be the multiple amounts of tools that you require. You need to have knowledge about those tools, right? You need to understand your tools. You need to know how they're working. You need to have a knowledge of their understanding. And the second thing is you have to scale it up and down manually depending on the kind of data that you're using and how your what sort of transformations you're making. And of course, poor collaboration. If everybody in a team is working on different tools, it's hard for me to collaborate with someone else who's working on a different tool because of simple communication problem also. And then, of course, it makes it complex to debug. So what does Databricks do? So now if we consider the same example over here in Databricks, we'll be having, the only thing will be you'll be extracting information from an external source using autoloader, and it will be saved into your data lake as your raw data. And then you could write a notebook with Python code, which could like transform this data and make it into clean and curated data, right? So you could just write your transformation layer logic and then load it back into your data lake under a different table. So now if an ML engineer or a data engineer, sorry, a data analyst wants to use this data, all they have to do is take the curated data and then like use it to train their ML model or to use it to do their to write their queries or build dashboards. So this is as simple, and this all runs inside Databricks. So I don't have to like do any connection stuff between them. It's pretty easy. I don't have to do anything. I could just manage it all in the UI. Of course, like I said, reduced complexity. The advantages would be the reduced complexity because the number of tools are obviously reduced to like one from multiple tools. And then, of course, it also supports version control. It's easier version control for you, easier to collaborate with your team as well. And then scheduling and monitoring also it takes care of. And the code is pretty simple on how to deal with the data. So, so what exactly can you build with Databricks? You could actually build a ETL pipeline. You could build a dashboards for business analytics use case. You could train your machine learning models or yeah, and deploy them, and then you can monitor them as well. You could also do real-time processing, that is your streaming data processing as well. And then you could do your data warehousing. So let me just explain to you some key components before we jump into the demo part of it. Yeah. So, yep, workspaces. Workspaces is like your central hub inside the Databricks, where you'll be storing your notebooks, your libraries, and your data sets. And clusters are your compute engines. So you'll be like creating a cluster and then connecting it to your notebook and then running your notebook. That is how you do it. And then notebooks are, of course, your coding environment. Wherever you write your Python code or SQL code you want to do, you could do it. You could also use multiple languages in the same notebook. That is a special thing for Databricks as well. And then you have something called Delta Lake, where you'll be storing all the data sets would be stored, and it also supports ACID transactions. So that's that. And then there's jobs. Jobs are basically automating your pipelines. If you create a pipeline, you can automate it using jobs, and then you could also schedule the workflows, and you can also monitor it basically. So, okay, for the demo, what we'll be doing is I'll be taking you through Databricks interface. We'll take a look at data in catalog. Then I'll just create a notebook and write up ETL pipeline, which I've already done. So we'll just go through the code, and then I'll show you how a job is orchestrated, and we'll just go forward with it. So yeah, for anyone who wants to try Databricks for free, you could like there is a free edition available. So just Databricks free edition is what you need to go into. You could just log in and like create a free this thing. I'll just log in. I already have an account in it, so yeah. Okay. So this is the UI you see as soon as you log into it. Uh, so we'll just explore it. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. Anybody could understand this. So I'll just start with the sidebar, right? So this is your workspace. Workspace is where you put all of your coding notebooks basically. In any so you could for a particular project if you want to make, you could make a folder and put all the notebooks that you require into it. You can also add your libraries or anything that is necessary for that project into the folder. So it's like your file system in your computer basically. And then this is recents is your any codes notebooks that you opened recently, you can see over here. And then you have something called the catalog. Now, catalog is where your data set is, resides basically. So I'll just load the data set. So if you're using a streaming thing or something, you will be loading it from externally and it'll be shown in catalog. So this is how it looks. I'll explain to you the catalog after we are done with the demo, so you'll have a better understanding of it. And this is your jobs and pipeline section, right? So this is where you'll be creating your automation for a pipeline, and then you have your compute. So if you want to run a notebook, you have to create a compute because this is a free edition. You already have like something available as a default. You can only use this for now. Um, and then you have marketplace. Marketplace is where like any third party people can put their data sets and stuff, and you could like basically load them into your catalog and then do a project on them or whatever. And this is your SQL workspace. You have your SQL editor. You could write your queries. You want to build your dashboards or anything. We'll not be going much into this part of it. Not much into any part of it, basically. I will just be going on here. And then for data engineering, of course, job runs and data ingestion, all of this part also. And then for AI and ML, you have your playground, you have your models and stuff. If you wanna do something with it, you're welcome to try it. Okay. So let me just go through a simple pipeline for you now. So, okay, so my pipeline would have, let's just go into catalog. So this is the thing that we are doing, sales and orders. It's like a very simple, very basic pipeline where I have two tables, customer table and orders table, right? So what we'll be doing is we'll be joining both of the table, we'll be cleaning the data, we'll be joining them together, and then we'll be giving a gold layer, which is your business layer, basically, that any analyst or an ML engineer would require. So let me just go through to the workspace, and this is the demo that I've come up with. So the first thing, so what I wrote was the first code that I wrote is to ingest customers. So for now, I just loaded it directly into the catalog. Therefore, this is just redundant at this point, but usually this is how you do it. So what I did was like it's already in catalog. I just put it into a different folder called bronze. So this is the code for that. And then you have, of course, the same thing for ingest orders as well. And then this code is for bronze to silver transformation. So this is all written in PySpark. You can also write it in SQL as well. So what I did was from bronze folder, I took both customers and orders table and then converted into data frames. And then this is the data frame. This is a data frame, as in you see it in the form of a table. This is your customers table, customer ID, name, country, city, loyalty points. This is what you have, and this is your orders data frame, where you have your order ID, customer ID, order date, product, quantity, and price. So what I'm doing is I'm cleaning it up here. So in the customers table, if you have any duplicates, I'm just removing them. Orders, in the orders table too, if there is any duplicates, I'm just removing them. And then I'm converting the date to, I'm converting the data type of the order date table. Uh, yeah, that's all I'm doing with cleaning for here because this is a simple data set. And then in silver layer, what I'm doing is I'm just joining both these tables on the basis of customer ID, like you do in SQL, basically. And that I'll be putting into a silver table, right? Which you can see in your catalog. You'll find it here, like silver schema is what I'm calling the folder, and you'll find it over here once I run it. And then the gold schema is here. The code for gold schema is over here, where it's like, yeah. Okay. Where I'll be grouping it by country and then like finding the number of customers per country or the number of orders per country, whatever. This is like a very simple one. I'm not doing anything much over here. So this is what I'm considering as my gold layer is what is happening. So what I'm going to do is I could, of course, run all of these notebooks by itself, independently as well. But what for the purposes of this demo, I'll be running a pipeline for you. I'll be automating the whole pipeline for you basically. So this is what it looks like. You could also create, let me just create a new pipeline if you want. Right. So yeah, yeah. So this is our pipeline. Let's just create a new pipeline if you wish to. So I have all of my code in the notebooks. So I'll be writing, let's say, ingestion customers, right? So we have your node. It's a notebook. The type, your source, basically is workspace, yes, and the path. You have a basic pipeline demo, and then you could just put this, and that's it. If you want to add any parameters, you could do so. I will not be going much into detail for all of this. I'll just be going over the top so you can do your own thing. So, and then you can just create a task. This is a single task. And then you could just go to another task, create another notebook. This time, okay, let me just a notebook. Yeah. So let's say orders ingestion, right? And it's like, yeah, it's a notebook. Just everything workspace. And then I'll be telling them from where to where I'll need it. So ingest orders. And then this is it. And here's the deal. Okay. You have a depends on section, so you can just mention if it is dependent on a previous step as well. So it is not. So I'll be putting it separately. And this is your task. So you could create your tasks like this. I already have created it before, so we'll just move on forward with that. So this is your ingest orders, this is your customers ingestion, and for bronze and silver, obviously it's dependent on both your ingested tables. So I've connected it to both of them, and then this will run the third notebook that I have, and so on. Now, when I want to run, now I could just run this pipeline, and I could monitor the run over here. This is it gives you like a basic how long did it take to monitor if it's running successfully. If it is showing like this, it's running right now. The white means that it has not started yet, and the dark green would mean that it's succeeded basically.
Can we also see the compute power it used? Like where, how much is the CPU memory it used?
Ideally, it should be available over here, but then one second. Compute for now, I use like serverless. I can't access the logs right now for the previous process, but you'll be able to see them in the logs is what.
Oh, there are no dashboards. You have to see in logs. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I myself am exploring it right now, so I may not be
Sure,
able to explain a lot of
sure,
stuff also.
sure. No problem. I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
I'm
What are
I'm
the
not.
alerts? Yeah.
Yeah, you could set any okay, notifications or alerts as well. So if you want to like set a notification or like this thing, you could have like email, your Microsoft Teams, PagerDuty, Slack, or webhook. And if you want to set it for starting, if it's like for start of the pipeline, then you could set an alert for that, for success, for failure, if it's going beyond a certain duration, and if you have any sort of like backlog, you could still put like you can set up notifications basically. And you can of course add triggers. If you want to run your pipeline every day morning, you could do that. You could schedule it to run every day morning, or if you want to schedule it for whenever the file arrives into the database, then also you could do it. Or if there is a certain update to your table, then also you could do it. Or streaming data in general, which is your continuous triggers. It will be live basically. It will never stop working. Yeah. So our Run has succeeded. This is the thing. And you can now find all of your tables, your resultant delta tables over here. So this is the sales order thing where you have bronze schema. So where you find your customers and orders in the bronze thing. And then you have your silver schema where sales order silver I created. You can also find your, of course, you can look at the overview of your tables over here as well. So it gives you like what columns are there, who's the owner of the table, what type of a table it is, any assets are any activity that you do on the table, and any table that is related to it is considered asset. So what asset is this table related to? You could see all those as well. And you can of course see sample data, which I have to start and close. Mm, It will take a couple of minutes, so we'll just move on. Um, and then of course you have like who created the table, how was it created, any properties that is related to the table you could see, and everything like that. You could also see data lineage. Okay, what table to which table is this table connected to, you could see that, right? So your table is connected to orders and customers in upstream, as in only by joining them you can form the silver table, so it's upstream. And then downstream it's connected to country order summary in gold schema, as in the silver table is used to create the gold table. So that also you'll be able to see. This is all the stuff that is given to you basically. And this is your final table where it's like what I did was I joined everything. So you'll be able to see the total number of orders and total number of customers per country is what. If you want to visualize this table, this is the final table that we came up with. If you want to visualize it, you could just go to the SQL editor and okay. So what I wrote was like, just show me the gold table is what I told them. And this is your gold table. If you want to visualize it, you could also, like, let's just go to bar chart. You could go country and consume. Okay. Total orders is fine. Yeah. So you could just make a bar chart over like this. Like there are multiple other visualization types. If you want to go through, you could do that, and then you can save it up. And yep, this is your final thing. You also have the option of creating dashboards, but right now I'm not doing it because it's the data that I gave is not complicated enough for this. So we'll just stop with this as well. Yeah, that's all. That is all from my side.
So I
Aisha,
have one. Sorry, go
Yes.
ahead. I have one
go ahead.
question. Uh, can you Uh, so one, it's not a question. One thing about data pipelines is if you go to any kind of interview, so they ask three major characteristics of data pipelines.
Mm-hmm.
One is how do you reproduce these data pipelines? Because a lot of the times you need to reproduce the data pipelines, right?
Hmm.
And how do you version your data pipelines? Uh, and then how do you monitor your data pipelines? This is for everybody, right? So these are the three major things and major characteristics of data pipelines they use. So I
Mm-hmm.
just if whoever is working on these data pipelines, I would suggest go to the internet and search for system design for data pipelines. Okay, specifically for
Mm-hmm.
data pipelines, then it will be very helpful for you guys to understand. And uh, one more question I had, Aishwarya, is can you show your diagrammatic view of your pipeline?
The diagrammatic view is this one.
That flowchart, yeah. So
Yes.
the data build tools I was trying to tell here is bronze and silver, right? So with
Yeah.
DBT tools, these two becomes one step basically.
Hmm.
So that's what I want.
Usually, in a real case scenario, Databricks is usually used with DBT as far as I've seen. like
Sure.
I was exploring and I saw a lot of people using it with DBT as well. Like it's
Yeah,
easier.
because if you are writing code, then what's the point? You are actually taking away one advantage of from it, right? So people
Yeah.
generally, even or without Databricks, they use DBT tools. It's called data build tools.
Hmm.
So it's basically SQL based, and then the greatest advantage is you can test it. You can
Yeah.
test, and then there is an idempotency to it built in it, and acid properties are
Yes.
consumed very well. It doesn't imply acid properties, but it consumed very well from the data lake.
Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Yep.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
That is all. If anybody has any more questions, I mean, I just gave you a brief overview so you'll be able to explore the Databricks UI. I'm not trying to like make you understand the whole ETL process. It's it's a little bit more complicated than what I said, and I have very less time, obviously. So, which is why I was jumping around as well. So, yeah,
Aishwarya, I have a question.
yeah,
So this particular example, whatever you gave, is only until the goal data, right?
yes.
The ML portion still it's not there, right?
No,
You,
it's not there. So now that the gold data is over here, you have it in catalog. So if you want to work on the gold data, you can just go to your this part of it and then start writing your code, use the models, use this data to train your model and stuff.
okay, you can also do the training over here, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
And
So if
build your own LLM
yeah,
models.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
okay. Use
I mean, I've
case,
not explored this part of it, so I do not know the limitations, how much they'll be able to do it. But yes.
nice.
I mean,
Okay.
if you want to get a basic understanding of how data engineering works, or for a beginner, this is well and good enough. This is enough, actually.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm curious to see how you can take this data and then come up with AI/ML, that processing part,
Hmm.
come up with a model, and how that model could be used.
Yeah.
Mm,
I maybe I can do that later on. I can just explore and then we can put a session on that, maybe.
sure, sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.